Welcome back to Sunrise. Well, it's not exactly the most cheerful way to bring in the new year, but according to relationship experts, January, Nat, is the month of divorce.
Yeah, sorry. Well, research shows the rise in divorce filings usually peaks after the holiday period. Many professionals are also bracing for a huge surge off the back of the coronavirus pandemic. They say love is blind.
We're gonna be so happy together. I love you.
I'm sorry?
But marriage can be an eye-opener.
I am the one who found this house. I bought everything in it with my money. It's a lot easier to spend than it is to make it, honey bun.
So what does that make divorce?
You're getting a divorce?
Yeah.
Amy heard you crying in the bathroom. We all thought it was cancer.
Oh.
Thank God, man.
Yeah, that's my relationship.
January is the prime time for couples to file for divorce. And after a tense 12 months for couples last year, experts are bracing for the highest separation rates we've seen in a generation.
Joe, you are so lucky Jerry is dead.
Thank you.
You don't have to bump into him.
Now that's true. According to Relationships Australia, 42% of survey respondents said isolation had negatively impacted their relationship, while the Separation Guide has reported a 314% increase in the number of couples considering splitting up.
We're temporarily sort of, just a little bit, we're separated.
So is there a way to divorce-proof your marriage?
Well, for more, we're joined by family lawyer and author Cassandra Kalpaxis and also relationship coach Amanda Lambrose. Good morning to you both. Amanda, if I could start with you. I think I'm only 15 days in after proposing to my beautiful girlfriend Kendall. So let's talk divorce. Is there a way to divorce-proof your marriage?
Sorry, Matt. There actually is, Matt, and I really wish a lot of people knew this. But if you spend more time communicating with your partner and never stop dating your partner, that seems to be the biggest pitfall, is a lot of people stop dating. And so continue your dates. And funny enough, touch often and touch regularly. If you have the opportunity to just have one-on-one time where you have that spark to be able to talk about your hopes and dreams and then actually make time for one another with no other distractions, those are some of the best ways to divorce-proof your marriage.
So what are the key warning signs to look out for, Amanda?
Some of the key warning signs is when you actually want to spend more time with your friends or at work than actually with your partner. When your communication's so bad that you just choose to completely cut off all communication. When you're not touching, if you're no longer intimate with your partner. And then anytime you're thinking about your partner and you have more negative thoughts than positive thoughts, those are really some key warning signs.
Cassandra, if separating is the best thing for a couple to go through with and to do, how can they try to keep it civil and importantly out of court?
Look, there are a number of things that people can do, and this is something that I speak quite regularly about in my book, Dignified Divorce. The most important thing that you can do from the outset is to communicate that the marriage is over. There's nothing like a surprise to ensure that conversation becomes acrimonious from the outset. It's really important that people are able to engage the right professionals, lawyers, mediators, psychologists, dispute resolution professionals, to be able to ensure that everyone is on the same page and are committed to going through what really is a divorce that is kept out of court and kept really respectful as the marriage was.
Cassandra, so what are some of the most common issues you see when a couple are trying to navigate their divorce?
I think everyone who gets separated comes into a state where, particularly in Sydney, we have a mindset of an acrimonious divorce. So it's that fear and anxiety that everyone really comes in the space with and thinking that they need to fight against each other when really it's not the case. We know that acting on emotion and acting and litigating out of principle leads people into the court space. And when people are able to actively engage in conversation about keeping things in a really positive space and being committed to reaching a resolution for the best interests of the children, then we're able to put people in a very different scenario than leading them into a really bitter divorce, which is what we traditionally see.
Amanda, even without a pandemic, I understand this is the time of year that is really popular for divorce. Why is that? And I guess what sort of increase have you seen in the number of Australian couples who are seeking help or on the verge of breaking up?
I think one of the largest reasons why people actually seek divorce or some form of separation in January is it's just after the holiday season. So a lot of people go into the holiday seasons possibly with a little higher anxiety, not wanting to spend time with the in-laws, and then things kind of unravel from there. And they just kind of show their true colors. And that's usually why January is a big month. But the good news is a lot of people actually seek help in December. So a lot of people can actively aim to get some help earlier rather than later.
So Cassandra, what about when the divorce is actually finalised? Any tips on co-parenting and maintaining some kind of amicable relationship?
Absolutely. So we know that people who have children are going to need to co-parent well into the future. At Dispute Resolution Centre Australia, where I also work, we're in a position to be able to help people to have those conversations that need to happen well into the future. And it's really important that that help continues on.
Okay, well there you go. Matt's sorted. He'll be fine. We really thank you. You've helped a lot of people.
Taken
both
some
of you this
furious
morning.
notes there.
Exactly.
50-50 custody. Joint custody and shared parenting all offer important benefits to children and parents. Let's go through a top 10 list of the benefits of children seeing each parent often. Number 1. 2 parents are better than 1. The number one benefit of 50-50 custody is that it takes advantage of a child having 2 parents. Both parents are able to make a large contribution. Every parent should realize that raising a child on your own is difficult. Having other people involved helps to make sure that you don't mess your kid up in some way. A great way to involve others is to share parenting duties. The benefits include: A. The child will have a balanced upbringing. For example, one parent might enjoy reading to their daughter, while the other coaches her in sports. B. Children gain access to the extended families and friendship groups of both parents. That means more connections to people like grandparents and family friends. C. Each parent is able to bring their own individual strengths to help develop their child, such as humor or teaching ability. D. An individual parent's errors and weaknesses are less likely to cause problems. For example, a child could make up for one parent having little money by also spending time with the other parent. E. Children have 2 major role models and have 2 different households that they grow up in. That allows kids to choose which behaviors to copy and which not to do. Number 2. Children are happier being close to both parents. The second major benefit of 50-50 custody is allowing a child to know both parents very well. Children have a deep need to connect to their mother and father. The ill effects of father absence have been well documented. According to Dr. Edward Kruk, father absence is associated with insecurity and diminished self-confidence, behavioral problems, truancy and poor academic results, delinquency, youth crime and teenage pregnancy, and drug and alcohol abuse. Just not knowing a biological parent seems to cause problems for children, creating an inner void that is not easily filled by others. And the quality of the relationship matters too. According to a study by Forstenberg and Harris, children who feel a closeness and warmth with their father are twice as likely to enter college, 75% less likely to have a child in their teen years, 80% less likely to be incarcerated, and half as likely to show signs of depression. Regular lengthy contact with both parents gives a child the opportunity to form 2 essential relationships. For children whose parents live apart, a high level of contact is best achieved by 50-50 custody and shared parenting. Number 3. 50-50 custody puts the quality into quality time. A further benefit of 50-50 custody is to boost the quality of time that children spend with parents. When you're only with each other half the time, moments together become more precious. To illustrate, when parents and children catch up after a break, they might share some hugs, talk about what has been happening in each other's lives, do an activity they all like, or enjoy a meal together. According to Adam Singleton, 50-50 custody is the ultimate form of shared parenting. That's because the 2 parents are treated as equals and fully share responsibilities for raising children. Here are some examples of why co-parenting improves the quality of parent-child time. A. You tend to avoid bad habits and routines, such as slumping in front of a TV after work or school and not communicating. B. Parents feel refreshed and are keener to see their kids. C. Children feel wanted and, hopefully, loved by both parents, and D. Children may appreciate time with each parent more. A good joint custody schedule has visits and breaks that are regular and neither too short nor too long. Each period apart is a chance for the parent to refresh and prepare for the next visit. Number 4. Children get to have 2 homes. Shared parenting means a child effectively has 2 homes at the same time. That provides for a richer experience while growing up. With 2 homes, a child has access to more spaces and features. For example, they could play computer games in the gaming room at one home. When staying with the other parent, the child might instead spend time at a local park or hang out with a neighbor they know from school. 2 homes also means children get to experience living with more people. Quite often, a child may be living across homes with a combined 4 adults and multiple half and step siblings. People are sometimes concerned that having 2 homes makes kids feel unstable. However, 50% of your time living in a place is enough to feel very much at home. So kids in joint custody usually feel secure in both households. Number 5. Children benefit from competitive parenting. An important though seldom discussed benefit of co-parenting is the healthy competition it stirs up. No separated or divorced parent wants to feel like their child prefers staying with their ex. That works to keep parents on their game to provide good experiences. For example, a parent might strongly value discipline, hard work and academic achievement. But they still want their child to enjoy coming to stay with them. So they will soften their approach. Shared care encourages parents to pay attention to and satisfy the needs of their children. Unlike sole custody with visitation, 50-50 custody encourages healthy competition. Both parents need to take care of routine, mundane aspects of parenting. You don't get the unhealthy situation where one parent has so little time with their child that they end up spending it indulging in things like outings, junk food and travel. Number 6. Shared parenting improves living standards. Children who live in a shared care arrangement, especially 50-50 joint custody, enjoy higher living standards because of it. Poverty risks are lessened since children live across 2 households. If living standards are low in one home, at least a child might make up for it in the other. For example, in the poorer household, a child might spend their time reading, watching TV and doing other low-cost activities. When staying with the better-off parent, they might instead play computer games, go shopping and eat out at restaurants. Overall, the child enjoys a good standard of living. Shared parenting also improves living standards by allowing a child to spend more time with the higher-earning parent. Income statistics for Australia show that recipients of child support earn only about half of what payers do. And payers usually have less than 14% physical custody. Where kids see paying parents more, the children are materially better off. One reason why child support recipients have low incomes is the amount of time they spend looking after children. In contrast, 50-50 custody allows both parents to participate in the workforce and earn a good income. Number 7. Financial resources are shared naturally. 50-50 custody and shared parenting avoid many of the financial problems of raising children post-separation. Without even trying, shared care gets both parents financially contributing. When both parents are looking after kids, they routinely pay for stuff without a second thought. They pay rent or mortgage on a bigger home, cover food and energy costs, and pay for things like outings and vacations. Each parent ends up contributing what they can reasonably afford. Contrast this way of managing costs with sole custody where child support is relied on. One parent has to hand over money for things he or she may not want to purchase. The non-custodial parent doesn't even get the pleasure of seeing their child benefit from the spending. According to Catherine Eden, the child support system weakens the child-father bond by separating the act of love from the act of providing. Many believe that child support is an unsatisfactory way of handling spending. Payers are often resentful. Recipients are encouraged to stay dependent on their ex. Parents who may want little to do with one another are forced into an unhealthy financial relationship. It is no wonder that children have better overall living standards with 50-50 custody. They naturally benefit from the financial resources of both parents. And you are less likely to have one parent failing to contribute properly. Number 8. Fathers are much happier. For the many divorced and separated dads who want to be with their children often, co-parenting is a blessing. You are able to maintain close relationships with the little person or people you love most in the world. And you are able to fulfill a role that gives life meaning and purpose, being an involved father with your child or children. According to a study by Edward E. Bartlett, fathers who lose custody were consistently found to be at greater risk for chronic health conditions, psychological impairment, and death. Of particular concern is the suicide risk of divorced men who become legally disenfranchised from their children. Fathers do not enjoy handing over child support for the raising of their children. What they usually want is to be with their sons and daughters. The best way for that to happen when parents live apart is 50-50 custody or another form of shared parenting. And a happy father makes for a happy child. Contented fathers who are in good shape physically and mentally are better positioned to help their children thrive. Number 9. Mothers are also happier. Thanks to personal bloggers, we know that mothers appreciate the advantages of shared parenting. This appears to be true even among mothers who initially wanted sole custody. Emma Johnson says, quote, "Those hours are a precious commodity I fully utilize to nurture friendships, date, work, exercise and relax. When the kids come home Sunday evening, we are also happy to see each other, and I can feel in my whole body how much more energy I have for them." End quote. Jennifer Wolf advises, quote, "Before you ask the court to review your case one more time, in the hopes of winning sole custody, consider the unexpected benefits you can expect to enjoy once you all get used to the joint custody arrangement." End quote. A mother who shares parenting gets more time to herself. That means you are more refreshed, eager and prepared each time your parenting duties begin again. You should be happier and better able to provide quality parenting. Co-parenting mothers can invest time in themselves for the benefit of their children. They are able to work on their physical and mental health, do online courses, work more hours to advance their career, and do things like date and build friendships. By sharing care of their children, mothers can become stronger parents and even better role models. Number 10. The next generation wins too. Shared parenting has positive benefits for children into their adult lives. Because children are able to form strong bonds with both parents, they likely have a stronger support base as they enter into adulthood. When a child becomes an adult and child support payments stop, who helps with expenses such as higher education or a deposit for a first home? A young man or woman who is close to both parents is better positioned than one raised in sole custody. Growing up in a shared parenting arrangement also better equips a person to raise their own family. They have had more role models in their life. And they probably have a large extended family to draw on. Separating parents who choose to share their parenting duties equally are, in a way, also moving towards sharing their grandparent duties. When a mother and father cooperate to keep each other as an involved co-parent, that must surely be good for all those who follow.
For further details about the benefits of 50-50 custody, see the source article at TimTab.com. TimTab has the world's best software for creating your own custody schedule and parenting plan.